vlog. So in today's vlog, I take you along on a day trip to Cambridge, England. I was so excited for this trip. We had a spare day, or should I say a free day, and we decided to go to Cambridge. It was a spontaneous trip, but we really had fun. We explored various parts of Cambridge, and this was me on the train. It was a 2-hour ride train. It was a 2 hours train ride to Cambridge, and we're just there enjoying the view. Look at this luscious view, and look at this very pretty babe. Anyway, if you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. Please don't forget to subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and like my video, share my video as well. So here we are, we got to Cambridge. We're just exploring different places. So our first stop was at this popular Chelsea Bond area called Fritzbillies or Fritzbills. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. We had their croissant, the popular Chelsea Bond. We had hot chocolates, and then we headed out to the riverside to go punting. If you come to Cambridge, make sure you go punting, because that's where all the juice is. That's where you get to learn about the history of Cambridge. So we went to the riverside to go punting. We had to wait. We got the tickets, then we had to wait for a bit because it was not yet time. And we saw this very cute is it duck now, but they were on the water and they looked very pretty. Then it was time for us to go to the boat and go punting. So you guys will see that in the next clip.
Very tempting, but the water's very dirty, so don't drink it, don't get it in your faces. And just try and keep your hands inside the boat, because there's a lot of self-hires today, who are the people who do it themselves, sort of hire their own boat. So we do crash a little bit, but I'm the only one who could fall in, so there's no risk for you guys. I'll give you guys a bit of history first. So Cambridge University was founded in 1209 by a group of Oxford students who ran away from the Oxford University, came here to create their own. And that's why there's such a rivalry between the universities now. So they're two of the highest achieving in the world, let alone the highest achieving in England. So they're always neck and neck with academics. I mainly get asked about if I've fallen in, and I haven't fallen in, but half my body's been in the water once.
Is this water deep?
What's that, sorry?
Is it deep?
Most of the water is about 1.5 meters. The deepest part is 4 meters. So people tend to fall in a bit, realise they can stand up and just walk off. They usually think they're drowning for a second. But no, it's not very deep usually. Obviously we're the better one. No, I'm joking. I don't even go to Cambridge, so I'm not biased. I've also never been to Oxford, so I don't really have an opinion on it, but I know that they're two of the highest achieving. Whoa.
In winter.
What's that, sorry?
Okay, I said even in winter, but you said winter, less business.
Way less business. I personally never worked in the winter, only this summer. He was very selfish. He named it after a saint called Mary Magdalene from the Bible. Now when said in Latin, their name said more like Maudlin or Maudley, so Maudley, because it's the closest he could get to still naming it after himself. And, he was very unpopular at his funeral, and that was the priest. And then his wife and daughter later attended to deface his grave. Oh wow. So not a very nice man. On our right hand side, this big grey building built in the 1960s is called the Crypt Court. Now this is opened by King Charles when he was a prince. And he was talking about how beautiful he thought this building was. But he forgot his microphone was on, and he was heard saying it was the ugliest building he'd ever seen, and it looked more like a car park. So now, unfortunately for the 200 students, completely wrong. They had to get their heads cut off. So the name stuck, and it's now the Bridge of Sighs. Although more creatively, it was originally known as the New Bridge, as it was the New Bridge. There you go, an example of the very intricate naming. I'm going, hit my head and fall in the water. I have actually done this once, and that's sort of time half my body went in the water. Should be at St John's College. You'll see in just a moment, in the centrepiece of the building. They are both of those things. They're also they have the highest number of Nobel Prize winners at 32. No, never. Lost the rights to it. Can you see in the middle of the building there?
What's there?
Empty closet.
It's a law in place or something.
So do you guys have ranking of between these colleges every year it changes?
We don't have a rank. 27,000.
Still cheaper than the colleges in US.
Cheaper
Yeah. Than America. Yeah.
Not bad. Wow.
Catania's America.
Yeah.
The whole course. What about that? 3 years.
Wow.
4 years.
That's a great deal.
That's one of the more expensive ones, easily. A lot of the a lot of places, for example, my degree for housing, I think it's about 7,000 a year, which is actually, it's not that bad, to be honest, for most universities, and that's still seen as relatively expensive. But it's becoming more and more expensive. It's becoming more privatised in the UK, much like America, really. There we go. Now coming up on the left side here is Trinity Hall College, third oldest in the Cambridge, second oldest on the river, built in 1350. Get into the college, the rest are completely rejected, so it's quite a difficult college to get into. And it's actually the first studying place of David Attenborough. He has his 10-year anniversary in the garden to our right-hand side here, and that was the last recorded time of the Queen visiting Cambridge for his 70th birthday. Lifespan of 3 kings. It lasted King Henry VI, King Henry VII, and King Henry VIII's lifetime. And this is due to the War of the Roses, led by Queen Margaret, the wife of King Henry VI. It ended up using most of their resources on the war, and meant they didn't have enough money to actually complete the building. So King Henry VI, a young King Henry VI, never got to see his own building in completion. Now the original design for King's College was for it to teach something called the gentleman's degree, which is exactly how it sounds like. All you do is you go there as a very wealthy young man, learn how to smoke cigars, drink alcohol and talk like a gentleman, and you come out that every beam on the bridge, when stepped upon, takes an equal amount of pressure. If you were to stand on it, your weight would be evenly distributed throughout every part of the bridge. Now, as I said, it's been replaced or fallen down 3 times, so it's clearly not very successful. But another interesting fact about the bridge is all of the beams are completely straight, which means that although it does make a perfect arch, every single piece of wood is straight. The story obviously made up by somebody like me, just trying to make the story interesting.
What kind of
And that's when the average university student starts. So August, it's very early September, late August time. You can move there earlier if you want. The rest of the group are crashing into a tree. But yeah, so this part is no swimming. Students aren't allowed to swim here either. Only sort of alumni of the college are allowed to swim in this part of the river here. And the students then complained. They were like, the ducks can swim ducks on this river, alumni of King's College. So they're legally allowed to swim here and the students can't complain about it. The ducks here, yeah. So I don't know anything about the cows or the swans or the geese, but the students were like, as an example, a jokey example, were said if the ducks can swim here, we should be able to too. So they just in response made them alumni, so they couldn't complain anymore. Now one more story about the King's College chapel on the right side here is that some students decided to prank the college. What they did is they climbed up the left-hand spire of the building with a traffic cone and put it on